Well, it's been a minute or two. Up in South St. Paul right now. Um, my Cassie's dad visiting him today. Um, it's Easter weekend, so we're up here to see her family and get things done up here. Anything that we have to do, um, and then head back down to Rochester tomorrow. So yeah. Gosh, it's crazy how fast Arizona is coming up. Um, we have we got like 3 months left about. Next month we fly down there and um, going hunting down there for places and seeing what we can find. It's gonna be crazy when we get down there, but it's gonna be a good time. Looking forward to starting a life. I mean, really getting out on our own. You know, I've been living in Rochester I've been living in southern Minnesota, I'll say, for almost 20, 22 years, and I'm done. It's not that I don't like Minnesota, I do, but living here, I, I don't like living here. I like the state overall, but living in Minnesota it's been an experience and it's been a good time. Don't get me wrong. I met a lot of great friends and friends I'll keep for the rest of my life, and um, it's been a great experience. But living here, I gotta do what I want to do and what me and my wife want to do together, and together we want to travel and want to do different things and get a little bit diversity as far as seeing different things, different climates. It's a combination of different things, and I'm I'm uh I'm ready to spread my wings and fly. And Cassie's grown up here in South St. Paul um, for her whole life, so other than the Midwest, and she hasn't seen the other parts of the country, and I want to show her. I want to go out together with her, and I want us to start our life, and not just always stay in one place and settle. Um, and Arizona is such a good, for my opinion, my personal opinion, I think Arizona or the Phoenix area is a great base to settle down, but then you can branch out and see different places, a lot of different places. I mean, you're talking about California, you're talking about Seattle, you're talking about Oregon, Las Vegas, or Nevada, Colorado. I mean, they're just, and granted, Colorado's more kind of dead smack in the middle of the United States, but it's so much easier to travel around there, and see different climates and different things. It's such a cool thing. And again, this isn't just about traveling and all that. It's about, it's, I don't know how to explain it. I guess it doesn't really matter in the end. Everyone has their own opinion and why they want to live where they live, and there's no wrong or right answer. You know, some people love Minnesota, and that's great. But for me and Cassie, the things that we want to do and the things that we want to see, it's hard to do that while you're here. And so I'm anxious to get the show on the road, and I'm at the same time I'm nervous, obviously, because I've never been able to live on my own in another state. And it's exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking, but I know everything is going to be okay. because if you put your mind to it, you can do anything, and that's what I really believe. But this is something me and my wife want to do together. This is something me and Cassie have been talking about for 4 years, and it's finally come to a head. And thank God for Cassie's job, and we were able to make this, I guess, dream come true of ours, to be able to spread our wings and fly. I had another seizure end of last month, March 24th. It was my fault. Reason why I say that is I didn't do this on purpose by any means, but I stopped taking my meds consistently. I would take it here one day, and then another day I'd miss it, and it was like that for a few months. So I take full responsibility for that, and since then, obviously, I haven't missed the dosage. And the thing about it is, these meds, if you stop taking them, whether or not you get seizures or not, if you have a history of them, you can get them by stop taking these because of the chemicals that are involved with these seizure medication. So I haven't had any since. I don't expect to. So I'll be able to start driving again end of June. So just in the nick of time to drive down to Arizona the end of July. So unfortunately, I won't be able to drive into Arizona when we fly down there in second week of May to hunt, but Cassie's able to drive, and then we have some friends that are helping us also look around as well. So yeah, I'm excited. It's almost unreal. I sometimes ask myself, well, is this really going to happen? Because it seems like every time we get ready to do something exciting, something comes up or something happens where we're not able to. And it's sort of kind of unbelievable still, And I'm just waiting for July to come. I want to get here as fast as it can so we can just, make the move. But the one thing I will say is that, and I want to make this perfectly clear, this is not an easy move for Cassie. And the reason why I say that is, she has no family down there. And at the same time, she still wants to move because she wants to be able to do the things that she wants to do. And I just got to keep that in mind, because if I were doing the same thing she was doing, I'd probably feel the same way. At the same time, though, I think I still want to be able to do the things that I want to do in life. And, I said to her, too, anytime you want to come and visit Minnesota and see your family, no hesitation, we will do it. Or she can go on her own if I'm, having to work or something. So Minnesota's always going to be here to come back to anytime you want to visit or go on a vacation or whatever. I'm not going to ever keep her away from her family. That's not my intention at all. And I remember when we first got together, 6 years ago in August. We got married 3 years later, but she always talked about wanting to travel and see different places she's never seen before, like San Francisco and Oregon and Seattle and all those different types of places. And she always was kind of a mover. She didn't ever really settle in one place, and if she did, she wanted to be able to settle and then travel. But she had said to me when we first got together, I don't see myself living in Minnesota forever, you know. And at the time, she hadn't been to Arizona yet because I hadn't taken her down there to visit. and so when I did, we left there. We were there in October of 2013, and I took her down to the Phoenix area where I grew up, and took her to California as well, where I was for a few years when I was growing up. And we were about to leave, and she's like, you know, this area, Arizona, I think I would want to move here. And I was kind of flabbergasted because I had never planned on living there because I wasn't sure if that was realistic. And at the time, I was against it because I was so settled in Minnesota. I had good things going, and then it occurred to me that, you know, life is good right now. It doesn't mean that you can't not do what you want to do. And so finally I was like, you know, maybe Arizona is a good thing, you know. And so we went back and forth on it for a long time, for about a year. And then finally we got married in 2014, a year later. We decided that we really wanted to make this push to Arizona. And here we are 3 years later in 2017, thanks to Cassie's job where she can work from home. We're able to move wherever we want, and we can do the things we wanted to always do. So I completely understand where Cassie's nervousness comes from. I always try to be understandable because it's not an easy thing to do. I'm gonna miss my mom. I'm gonna miss some of my friends here that I've, you know, really gotten close to, and I hope that when we get down there, they'll come and visit us, and we'll come visit them. And you know, I always tell myself, you know, there's tons of families out there that move away from their families and start their own lives. And you know, I'm one of those people. I've never, since the beginning, since the moment I stepped foot in Minnesota, I always said to myself, I just don't see myself in Minnesota for the rest of my life. I think at one point I did because I wasn't married, and I didn't want to go by myself somewhere and start my own life by myself. But you know, I'm married now, and I want to start a life with my wife, and you never know if we decide to have kids, and I want to start our own traditions, our own things. And I think that's an awesome thing to have, you know, get out in the community and meet new people. I mean, again, I like Minnesota. I just don't like living in Minnesota, if that makes sense. And you know what? Hypothetically speaking, we get down to Arizona, and you know, maybe a couple years passes and we don't end up liking it. Don't foresee that happening, but if it did, we would definitely have a place to come back to here as far as the area. I don't think it'd be Rochester. I don't like living in Rochester, neither does Cassie. It's too expensive, number one. But at least Minnesota in general would be an option. Again, while I don't like living in Minnesota, it would be a place to come back to either way. I might not like it, but at least you could always come back to it. The thing I like about this move the most is that this wasn't on a whim. This has been a thing that we've been planning for years. and we've been researching different places for a long time, and we've gotten ideas and prices and saving, and it's been a wonderful thing, and I'm blessed to have a wife that cares and a wife that's willing to make. But yeah, it's just really nice to have someone in your life that strives to have a lot of the same goals that you have, and you know, just stay positive. I forgot my train of thought, but I'm in a really good place in my life. You know, me and Cassie, you know, step back sometimes and just wonder if it's the right move, and it's just because, you know, you're nervous and you're, you know, people second guess themselves all the time, and it's not that we second guess ourselves, it's just, you know, you get nervous. It's your first experience really getting out on your own, and I'm just excited, you know, and to potentially, get a home someday, you know. That's another thought-provoking thing as well that we want to do, and we just want to get settled somewhere first, and then check out Phoenix and the areas and the different cities that you can settle into, and then, you know, go from there. But for right now, we're, you know, doing an apartment. So, gosh, sweating out here. So anyways, just something on my mind. Don't want to make this video too long, but I always do. I like to talk. I like interaction with people. And that's why I do this. Even though I'm sure no one's watching this, but again, I'll say it again, and I'll say it a million times after. I don't do this for anyone but me. If people watch it, great. If people get something out of it, awesome. But I think when you start to do something like this, you have to do it for yourself. Don't expect people to watch it, because, you know, because then you're just going after the fame and the some people that are on here go after the money. You know, people go after a lot of different things to do videos, but I just do it for myself. I always say it's kind of a time capsule for me to learn about myself, you know. When I started this channel, gosh, what was it? 20? No, not 20. 8 years ago? When I started this 10 years ago, in 2006, it was I just wanted to do it to keep a lifeline of my life and see how much I've changed, and you know, and it's been fantastic. I go back all the time, and I see how much I've changed, and it's great, you know. But it's getting kind of loud over here, so I'm probably gonna get going. I think hopefully I'll be back on here again. We'll see though. See ya.